All right, I'm here with the new Tippmann TMC Mac Fed marker and hopper fed marker as well, depending on your setup. I'm choosing to go Mac Fed with this setup. So I've bought two additional spare magazine 2-packs, so 4 mags here. And I'm just going to raise the box and show you what comes inside, which you've probably already seen at this point. So in the box, you get of course, you get the marker, owner's manual, and it's translation in French and Spanish. You also get two 19 or 20 round magazines, depending on who you ask. You get your barrel, your shroud, your hopper adapter. I've already installed the magazine adapter and your regular hardware, squeegee, barrel sock, all that jazz. So what I'm going to do is run through a complete teardown of this marker, internals, and out, externals. And what I'm going to do is compare it to the marker that I've read on Facebook, I've read on the forums, that is the most comparable marker to this one, the Alpha Black. So let me get started and keep you all going along the way with the discoveries, the discrepancies, the differences, and similarities. All right, so we've got it out of the box, and I have all the pieces here out. This is the standard barrel that comes with this. And in an earlier video, I brought up the Alpha Black front shroud. The Alpha Black front shroud potentially being compatible with this. So let me start off by saying I want you to pay attention to this opening on the Alpha Black front shroud. Now, very similarly, if you look at these two, and I'm just going to set it here for comparison purpose, you will notice you do have two connection points, and they're the same, that slide into the receiver. But if you pay closer attention, the screw point for this one is further up on that, of a notch further up here than it is on the TMC. And additionally, you have a second insertion point into the aluminum body, but you also have this piece that is non-removable. So all of this is designed to work with this opening for this particular shroud. So that debunks the first part of my video from yesterday. So as far as the standard barrel, I'm going to remove this now. I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to put the standard Alpha Black barrel right here with the one that comes in the TMC kit. Now, what you'll notice right away is the TMC barrel is slightly longer. However, what I will say is if you look at this particular bevel and you look at the Alpha Black barrel, this bevel is designed to work specifically with this shroud. Much like the Alpha Black, you needed a 1-inch thick barrel to go through this opening so that it would secure the shroud and it wouldn't be wobbly. So this bevel point makes the barrel 1 inch in diameter. So I haven't tried to put this barrel through here yet, but I will, and I will get back to you in a second. So I've threaded the Alpha Black barrel into the TMC. Took a little bit, I had to press it past the point here where I just showed you, but I forgot that I recently changed the O-ring on that barrel when I did my winter maintenance on my marker. So it took a little bit of pressure to get it there, but you shave about 1 inch or so off if you went with the stock barrel. Now let me stop and explain something before you all say, well, you just put the stock Alpha Black barrel on it, like what's the point? The point is, if you purchase a Wrap 4 1-inch diameter barrel, which is exactly the same diameter as this barrel, it looks almost identical, except for you have the ability to thread on your own muzzle flashes. You want to, this is just about 1-1 mock-up of that. So do I plan on using this barrel in this marker? No, but I do plan on purchasing the straight line barrel because I am shooting round ball. So this is a great, way to test how it would all work itself out. But I will suggest the shroud itself is a 10-inch barrel is the minimum you're going to be able to go with to clear this shroud and get out of the get a muzzle flash on there. So what I'm going to do now is take it back down, and we'll go over the next piece that I noticed with the Alpha Black, difference between the Alpha Black for a shroud and the shroud for the TMC. Now, for you guys that are interested in switching out the stocks, I've taken off the TMC stock that comes with the marker. And in yesterday's video, I stated that it was, not a run-of-the-mill plastic stock. What I was really trying to say, and I had a brain fart because it was people around me watching while I was trying to make the video, is this isn't an ABS plastic stock, which I believed at first it was going to be. And, in fact, all of this is great, but I know some of you all prefer a more, I guess you would say, realistic look. So I took the stock off the Alpha Black. Both stock tubes line up. So I'm going to move this one out of the way and grab the TMC. So can an Alpha Black stock, and this is the stock that comes with the Alpha Black. Now, this is all pieces that came with an Alpha Black. And what I'm going to do here, I'm working with one hand, so just forgive me. But it does slide on that buffer tube. I don't have the capability right now to move this down and slide into place, but it will slide. As you can see, it does fit on the buffer tube. So you have the option to switch to stocks that fit the Alpha Black. If you maybe want a crane stock or a custom stock that will fit the Alpha Black, it will fit the TMC. So I've done a complete teardown of the Tippmann TMC. And as you can see, it's not a whole lot to the internals, but there are some key differences here. First I was going to break down the Alpha Black and see if I can cross over some parts from the Alpha to the TMC. But the way that this has been redone, I'll point it out to you. First of all, let's go with the receiver screws. So this is the hardware it takes to take your Tippmann TMC apart. So this was the screw that actually threw me off for a second. It's on the reverse side of the grip. So when you're taking off your screws here, you're unscrewing with your Allen wrench, you actually have to go to the other side and unscrew this one so that the grip comes off and you can finish taking the receiver halves apart. So that was the first gotcha part. Now, something that's going to come up, this mag release does not need to be taken off in order for you to break the receiver in half. So you can leave the mag release in place like I did, and I broke the receiver in half. Well, I shouldn't say broke, but unscrewed it. So that's one thing we can debunk. Second thing, you will not be able to swap out the entire stock and stock tube because this buffer tube does not come off. It is literally part of the receiver. So your best bet is to just buy a replacement stock to go over the buffer tube if that's your initial goal. Now, as far as the internals, as you can see, there's a striking resemblance to the Tippmann Cronus. And also, let me debunk an electrical gun, because if you pay attention to this grip and this handle, I don't see where Tippmann would be able to fit in here and in here an electrical board and, solenoid or whatever, electrical board, electric switch and all that. So let's put that out there now and debunk that now. Now, here's something that they did with the power tube I thought was, the power tube and the internals. Let's go with this. First of all, instead of having 5 spots with the Alpha Black, you have, 5 spots for pins. You literally have 4 pins. So this holds the sear in place with the sear spring. This one is for this piece, it goes right here. And this pin goes here to secure the trigger assembly in place. So they've dumbed it down enough where this marker can be assembled and disassembled, and you don't have a lot of moving parts here. You see the gas line, and of course there's the linkage bar that connects the sear, that connects the two. So now what they did with this to make sure you could, you wouldn't have a free-floating rod here, is they put this piece here. It marries up to here. So this is a brief demonstration. It fits inside of here. So when you prime it, it can fire without just like an A5's cocking rod. Here's where the real change comes into play. And this is something they did I thought that was kind of genius and at the same time simple. You can remove the power tube, but this power tube and a 98 custom power tube, which is the one that's used in Alpha Blacks and Cronuses and whatnot, this is a little different. So I'm not sure yet if it's even something that can, if there's any aftermarket parts or plans for them. Now, notice I was able to swivel this. This is the second thing they did that I thought was pretty genius. They've put these on a swivel. So you no longer have to worry about tightening and placement because this piece swivels. So when you're disassembling the marker, you don't have to worry about having an adjustable wrench or, in my case, pliers to keep this in line. The only piece that would probably be interchangeable would be the actual bolt, here. That would be the only piece that is interchangeable. Of course, it's your standard Tippmann sear, your standard Tippmann spring. Here's, your hardware for that. And even the hammer here is different, which is very interesting. They've narrowed the hammer, but it's got a little weight to it. So you can tell they took a stock 98 hammer and they just thinned up the sides here so it would go perfectly in there. Now, literally what they've done with this buffer tube is to make up, and I'm going to just grab my Alpha Black here for a second. The Alpha Black has a very long piece here, but all your internals are in this tube, roughly. These two halves come together to form a tube. What they've done to cut down on space and still preserve the same length linkages and whatnot is they built into the buffer tube and they extended the front out. So you're getting the same length of an Alpha Black or a Project Salvo. You're getting the same length that you need for these internals, but they've cleverly built it into the buffer tube. So you're getting the same length of tube here, and I know that sounds funny, in the same length of tube, but you're getting it differently. It's more cleverly hidden. So with that said, I'm going to reassemble this. Any questions you all may have, please post below and I will try my best to answer them. Thank you all for watching.